In this video, I am going to discuss about economies of scale and diseconomies of scale. Let's talk about the economies of scale first. Economies of scale refer to the situation where the average cost per unit of production decreases as the quantity of output increases. This happens because a firm increases its production. It can spread out its fixed costs over a large number of units, making each unit cheaper to produce. For example, a company that produces car parts can buy raw materials in bulk and get a lower price per unit, reducing its average cost. Simply, this means larger companies comparing to individuals and small companies have the advantage of lowering their average cost per unit of production since the quantity of output is higher. Always remember, just because the quantity of output increases, it will not always lead to decrease in average cost per unit. We will talk about that under diseconomies of scale. Mainly, there are three types of economies of scale: internal, external, and scope. Internal economies of scale. Internal economies of scale refer to cost savings that accrue to a firm as it expands its own operations. As examples, specialization of labor. As a firm grows, it can specialize its workforce, allowing employees to develop greater expertise in a particular task, leading to improved efficiency and lower costs. When it comes to economies of scale, efficiency plays a major role. This is one of the main factors why economies of scale is able to lower the average cost per unit use of specialized machinery. As the firm grows, it can afford to invest in specialized machinery, which can lead to improved efficiency and lower costs. Improved management systems. As the firm grows, it can develop more sophisticated management systems, such as a more streamlined supply chain or better information technology systems, leading to improved efficiency and lower costs. Economies in advertising and promotion. As the firm grows, it can spread the cost of advertising and promotion over a large number of units, leading to lower average costs. Bulk purchasing of raw materials. Companies can purchase raw materials in bulk, allowing it to negotiate lower prices and reducing its average costs. These are called bulk discounts. Better access to financing. As a firm grows, it may have improved access to financing, allowing it to invest in growth and take advantages of economies of scale. Because as the firm grows, their reputation will also tend to grow. So they have a better opportunities to borrow money at a lower interest rates. External economies of scale. External economies of scale refer to cost savings that accrue to a firm as a result of being located in an industry cluster where suppliers and supporting industries are concentrated. For examples, access to specialized suppliers. Companies may have improved access to specialized suppliers in its industry, allowing it to purchase goods and services more efficiently and at lower costs. Access to skilled labor. As a firm grows, it may have improved access to a pool of skilled labor in its industry, leading to lower labor costs and improved efficiency. Access to knowledge and information. As a firm grows, it may have improved access to knowledge and information in its industry, allowing it to improve its processes and products and reduce costs. Access to infrastructure. As a firm grows, it may benefit from the infrastructure that have been developed in its industry, such as transportation and communication networks, leading to lower costs and improved efficiency. Access to research and development facilities. As a firm grows, it may have improved access to research and development facilities in its industry, allowing it to improve its processes and products and reduce costs. Economies of scope. Economies of scope refer to cost savings that result from producing multiple products, allowing for the sharing of common resources and cross-selling opportunities. For an example, a computer manufacturer that also produces printers can benefit from economies of scope by using common components and marketing both products to the same customer base. These will essentially share the common resources, resulting the cost per unit to reduce. Now let's talk about the advantages of economies of scale. Lower cost of production. As a firm grows and experiences economies of scale, it can produce goods and services more efficiently and at a lower cost per unit. This will benefit the end consumer because they will be able to afford the goods and services at a lower price. Increased competitiveness. By reducing the cost of production, a firm that experiences economies of scale can become more competitive in the marketplace, which can help it to win market share and increase sales. Improved profitability. By reducing the cost of production, a firm that experiences economies of scale can increase its profitability, which can help it grow, reinvest in the business, and create new jobs. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of economies of scale. Decreased flexibility. As a firm grows, it may become less flexible, making it harder to respond quickly to changes in the market, such as shifts in consumer preferences or new competition. Decreased innovation. As a firm becomes larger and more focused on efficiency, it may become less innovative, which can reduce its ability to introduce new products and services that meet changing customer needs. Increased risk of market dominance. As a firm grows and becomes more dominant in its market, it may reduce competition and limit the ability of new firms to enter the market, which can result in higher prices and reduced consumer choice. This will also make a barriers to entry to the new companies into the industry. Now let's talk about the diseconomies of scale. This is opposite to the economies of scale. Diseconomies of scale refer to the situation where the average cost per unit of production increases as the quantity of output increases. As I said earlier, just because the quantity of output increases, it will not always reduce the average cost per unit. This is called the diseconomies of scale. This happens because as a firm expands its operations, it can face a variety of problems such as increased management difficulties, higher communication costs, and decline in worker productivity. For example, a company that expands its workforce may find it difficult to maintain the same level of quality control and coordination. At the beginning of the 2023, tech companies in the USA had massive layoffs. One of the main reasons for that diseconomies of scale. Here are the causes of diseconomies of scale. There can be internal and external factors that cause diseconomies of scale. Managerial inefficiencies, increased communication and coordination costs, declining worker productivity, competition for raw materials and skilled labor. For example, as a firm grows, it may become more difficult to manage and coordinate its operations, leading to higher costs and inefficiencies. Additionally, as a firm grows, it may become more difficult to communicate effectively with employees and stakeholders, leading to higher costs and reduced efficiency. Here are some examples of diseconomies of scale. Retail chains. As a retail chain expands its operations, it may face diseconomies of scale as the cost of managing a larger number of stores and employees increases. Public utilities. A public utility that provides services such as a water, electricity or gas to a larger number of customers may experience diseconomies of scale at the cost of maintaining and upgrading infrastructure increases, and the level of coordination and communication becomes more complex. Government. Governments are the main entities when it comes to diseconomies of scale. As the size and complexity of government operations increase, it may face diseconomies of scale as the cost of managing a larger number of employees, regulations and programs increases, and the level of coordination and communication becomes more complex. Transportation. A transportation company that expands its operations may experience diseconomies of scale as the cost of managing a larger fleet of vehicles and employees increases, and the level of coordination and communication becomes more complex. Now let's recap today's video. We discussed about economies of scale. This is where the average cost per unit of production decreases as the quantity of output increases. There are three types of economies of scale: internal, external and scope. Then we discussed about the diseconomies of scale. This is the opposite to economies of scale. This is where the average cost per unit increases as the quantity of output increases. There are two types of diseconomies of scale: internal, external. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.